All right, so welcome back to Coach Co's B-Ball Breakdowns. Today we got two things to look at. We're going to be breaking down Markquis Nowell, the K-State point guard, and how he was able to basically put a ring around the Kentucky defense in the round of 32 matchup. And after that, we're going to be taking a look at Miami Hurricanes offense against Indiana and what they were able to do offensively in that round of 32 matchup as well. So on this first play, we're going to have Keontae Johnson. Here we go. Keontae Johnson gets the rebound. And at this point, we got transition. K-State's got 4-on-3. You can see it, 4-on-3 versus Kentucky. And Johnson delivers this pass to Nowell on the wing pretty early. And it's a good job to do so. So we get basically just across the timeline, and the ball's already out. We're going to Nowell on the wing. He's been making plays already in the first 10 minutes. So as soon as he touches the rock, you can see Livingston and Frederick are both jumping towards the ball here. Markquis Nowell, he pounds it one time, puts it on the deck one time. But by this point, he's already been able to read Livingston and Frederick, and he knows where he's going with the ball. He just doesn't want to give it away yet and let the defenders know what he wants to do. So he keeps his head up, and his eyes right now are to the baseline. He's not looking at the middle of the court, but that's where he wants to go. He's looking like he wants to go to the hoop, and he's getting these two guys to bite even more than what they originally did on their first initial jump towards the ball. So if we watch it in full speed, it's Johnson with the rebound, gets it out to Nowell early, eyes up, one dribble, and boom, right to the middle of the lane. And the reason that he does that is, like I said, he reads these two guys. Livingston and Frederick both jump immediately when he touches the rock. All Nowell has to do is put on the deck one time and not give away the play early and deliver a pass on time in rhythm, and it turns into an easy bucket. So this next bucket is a really just high IQ play from Markquis Nowell. Kentucky's just scored, so we're taking it out of the hoop. But he lets himself get guarded on this inbound. This is Cason Wallace right here who's guarding him for most of the game. But he's showing some pressure, so Keontae Johnson is the man that gets the ball in the inbound. Markquis Nowell is content with letting it go to Johnson. And what he does instead is he's able to get a step as soon as the inbound is. Look at how much space he's created from Wallace's pressure. Wallace was showing pressure, so he said, you know what, Johnson, Keontae just inbounded to Keontae, and then I'll get a step by waiting and going as soon as the ball is inbounded. So that's exactly what he does, and he's already beaten his man. This dude, he doesn't have a second gear or a third gear. He's got one gear, and he just goes. So I love it, and by this time, look, Wallace has already communicated that he wants to switch, but the problem is the only two guys back are Toppin and Tshiebwe, who aren't able to stay in front or guard the smaller Nowell. So he's already gotten a mismatch just by having this high. You can see Wallace is going over there to show pressure. He doesn't want Nowell to bring up the ball. He's trying to keep it out of his hands. But high IQ play from Nowell is just letting it go into Johnson and then getting a step. And then keeping in your same gear, attacking the hoop, and finishing with this epic reverse. Really just a pretty finish here. He puts Tshiebwe on his hip. This miscommunication here. All right, so Toppin's guarding him. All right, now Tshiebwe's guarding him. I don't know who's guarding him. He changes pace and is able to get around both of them. Puts Tshiebwe on his hip, and he's in front of him. Tshiebwe is not between Nowell and the basket. So Nowell puts up this really epic reverse here and is able to get it to go. This next piece of the Markquis Nowell highlight tape comes in the final possession of the first half. So Kentucky has sent the double team. Nowell's got 8 seconds. He's pretty much just dancing way up here on the three-point line. But he's going to attack right because Ware is the closing out defender. He's got his momentum coming towards him, and he's going to be the easier guy to beat just because of the fact that he's closing out and he's got his momentum going towards him, like I said. So he attacks right, he pulls it back, gets Ware off balance, and then goes right around him and attacks him again. We get a little bump here from Johnson. But at this point, Kentucky's out of position. We get the two guys who were guarding Nowell are now beat. One of them can take Johnson, but we got three guys trying to guard Nowell, who's attacking the lane downhill. He's coming. He's got to step up, and then we got three coming, or he's got to step up, and then we're leaving the backside. But the thing about Nowell is he's so good at beating you so quickly. That's what makes him an elite player at this level in the college game right now. He's so good at beating, like, you can't be out of position for a half a second because he's going to get the ball to where it needs to be. And that's what he did all night long against Kentucky in this game. So we see it right here. Kentucky's beat, and look how much time it takes for Nowell just to make the right play and beat the defense because they're out of position. He gets it in deep, and then he just, again, with I mean, come on, man. Like, It's ridiculous the things he does in this game. I mean, like, it's just so quick. Like, they're out of position, and now 2 seconds later, it's a bucket and on your neck, and there's nothing you can do to stop it. So he sends a double, goes around him, goes around the weaker guy who was closing out, gets a little bump, and then it doesn't take more than a half a second after you get beat for him to beat you and make the right play to make the bucket. Again, good job being confident, being assertive with the play that you want to make. You're making the right play, and you know you're making the right play, so just make the right play. So on this play, Markquis Nowell pretty much single-handedly just forces the help to come from a place where it's not going to be able to come from. Watch C.J. Frederick up here. He starts on the top guarding David Sills, who has the last 5 points for K-State. He had a couple threes and then got a bucket. So we get a ball screen on the wing, and Kentucky's been playing this the same way all night. Oscar Tshiebwe right here is pretty much given up on his guy, David Nagesson, who's setting the screen. He's given up his guy so that he can stay in front of Nowell. And so Wallace gets beat off the ball screen action. Nowell does a good job of faking right to go left. And Wallace is cheating the screen right here. So Tshiebwe is trying to stay in front. He's, like I said, he's pretty much given up on his guy. But Markquis Nowell is just pretty much saying thank you very much. And I can go right around Tshiebwe. Let me get him going left and cross back over to the right. But, Nowell is just so good at beating you as soon as you are out of position. So, boom. Look, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys are trying to stop him. And he's still able to just get right around, go up into the defender, and deliver the dump pass right at the right moment, right at the last second. So, again, just full speed. Really good job here. Boom. We're going to reject the screens. Thank you very much, Oscar Tshiebwe. Go right around you. And then as soon as you guys get out of position, I'm going to make the right play and beat you. Good job there by Johnson. So this is what we call a 45 cut. We got Nowell right here. We got 90 degrees right here and 45 to Johnson. So you can see anytime that there's someone on your team driving the lane and you recognize that you're standing 45 degrees from his rim run, go ahead and just cut to the hoop, because 9 out of 10 times you're going to be the guy that he's looking to dump it to when that help defender steps up. That's exactly what happens here. I love this little Oscar Tshiebwe. I'm going to pretty much cross you up. Boom. See you later. And, yeah, just too easy for them. So on the very next K-State possession, Nowell does the same exact thing on the opposite wing. The screen's coming from the left, and he rejects it. He reads Reeves. I'm sorry, that's Case and Wallace. He reads Wallace, and he decides that Wallace isn't doing enough to not give up the baseline, so I'm going to take the baseline. And down here, we get Nagesson and Tshiebwe. Nagesson, with a huge seal on Tshiebwe, he keeps him out of that play, so Markquis Nowell can get deep and go off 2 and take a strong take to the hoop. You can always get better looks by going off 2 feet down here. You are more in control of your shot. You're better balanced on the offensive end with the ball, and you have a less likely chance of getting blocked and a more likely chance of getting a foul call. So really got a job there, again, by Markquis Nowell, but also by David Nagesson, who is able to just keep Tshiebwe from making a play on here. So this possession is off the horns look. We got 2 on the elbows and 2 on the corners. That's the horn set, basically the most standard sort of basketball set in the game. But Nowell finds a way to beat Kentucky regardless. So we get a double screen coming up here, and you can see Tshiebwe, he's given up on his defender. His first move is to cut Nowell off. He's like, I need to stop Nowell from getting in the paint. He's carving us up, and that's from Calipari. The Calipari's making that call, and he's coaching his guys up to get this super hard hedge out here to try and stop Nowell. So what you're going to see happen here is Tshiebwe is going to stay in front, and Wallace is going to do his best to get over this screen and try and get back and recover back to Nowell. Livingston right here, he takes the rolling guy from K-State, but there's also a guy that pops. So it's basically Nowell just finding a way to beat you as soon as you are out of position again. So right here, he's got his eyes up. He's looking to the middle of the court. He's reading Livingston. He's looking right here to see, can I get this roll look, or do I have to go for the pop? He's looking right at Livingston. And look at that little hesitation, too. I really didn't even notice that the first time. He's buying himself time to figure out what Livingston's going to do. He comes up, he looks, and then he lands, and then he goes. That little hesitation gives him that extra second to determine what he wants to do with the ball. So what should have happened is that Tshiebwe should have hedged this hard and gotten back here, and Livingston should have went here, and Wallace is in good enough spot here that if Tshiebwe weren't there, he would be able to cut off Nowell from getting to the hoop. But obviously, you see that's not what happens. Nowell is able to make this easy read here on Livingston and deliver a great pass as soon as, like I said, he's just so good at beating you as soon as you're out of position, and then you're beat. The ball's in the hoop. I can't say it enough. He's just money. Like this whole second half was just money from him. So by this point, Oscar Tshiebwe has pretty much become Markquis Nowell's honey bun, and what I mean by that is when there's a honey bun, I had a freshman basketball coach who taught me what honey bun meant. A honey bun is someone who can't play defense. Every time that he's on the court, we're gonna get the ball in the guy's hands who's guarding him, so that he can make a play, and that's our easiest way to score. So Tshiebwe has now become Nowell's honey bun. So this time, again, we get ball screen rejected. Tshiebwe is basically giving up on the guessing again. He's stopping Nowell, and that's all day for Nowell. He's eating him up. He just goes right around Tshiebwe. He's quicker. He stays low, and Tshiebwe just doesn't do a good enough job to stay in front. It's a fearless finish as soon as he gets down here on the block. Again, he goes up off 2 feet, and he goes up strong to the hoop. He's not worried about Tshiebwe. If Tshiebwe's there and blocks it, so be it. If Tshiebwe's there and fouls him, great. If Tshiebwe doesn't make the play, then I get an easy layup. And that's exactly what happened. So you can see it's reject the ball screen, go right around Tshiebwe, land on 2, and go up strong. Fearless finish from Markquis Nowell. And give him the ball slam just for an exclamation point. So we're not going to transition out of the Markquis Nowell highlight tape into this Miami versus Indiana matchup. And I want to take a look at these first 4 possessions right off the rip, because Miami sets the tone early by coming out and not getting wrapped up in the hype, not trying to do anything special. They said that, we've been here a million times. We know how to play our game, and that's exactly what we're going to do. So Miller gets deep, and he gets the ball to Poplar, but Poplar misses. He gets his own rebound and doesn't even think twice. He doesn't hesitate. He doesn't say, oh, Trace Jackson-Davis, he's, one of the best players in the country. He's on the one watch. He's going to win National Player of the Year. No, man. Turn around. I'm going to shoot it right back over you because I'm making that shot. I'm confident enough that I can make that shot. So this first bucket from Poplar, I think it really sets the tone for the rest of the game. But the fact that Miami ends up going up on an 8-0 run here to start, it pretty much buries Indiana out of the gate. They do come back. And take the lead in the second half, actually. But these first 4 possessions, there's just no hesitation from Miami's end. Look at this transition run here. Indiana just, okay, so look. We got 5 guys in the paint for Miami compared to 2, and one's already getting back after as his teammates getting the rebound. I said, I want to get back. Like, these dudes are getting ready to get back on defense. It's like, I'm nervous. I'm scared. I don't have confidence in my game. Miami's the exact opposite of that. They take the ball from Race Thompson, and they get out and run transition. So Wong is going to attack right down the lane, make someone guard you good. Galloway's now guarding you. Let me run right at Jackson Davis so that I can get that pass off. Jackson Davis get him up in the air, and that's a great pass from Mooka Poplar to Norchad Omier right there. So this next one is Jordan Miller and Race Thompson. If you were watching this game, you probably heard the announcer say like 30 times that Jim Larinaga, the Miami head coach, thinks Jordan Miller's the most underrated player in the country. I don't know if I would go that far, but the announcers just wouldn't shut up about that comment. So this time, he opens a lot of things up in this game by what he's able to do down low on the block here, and how assertive he is really with his post play on the block on the offensive end of the court. He opens up a lot of stuff for Miami, and it's a huge part of their game in this one. So he gets it down deep. He gets to a power position down here in the middle of the court. So he can make a play from right here. He's surveying. He's trying to figure out what he wants to do, and he uses the okay. So look. He uses the bump to get separation, but he uses the pump fake to get him coming into him first. So look, Jordan Miller first uses the pump fake, and now Thompson is coming into him. You can see he's getting into him. But now Miller uses the bump, actually. So this pump fake here brings Thompson into him. Pump fake, and he inches up here. You can see his feet right there. I'll show one more time. Look at his feet before the pump fake. Look at his feet before the pump fake. And now he's up a little bit more. That's all Jordan Miller needs to get this bump and get his shoulders turned and squared in the air so that he can make a good-looking shot. We'll see it in full speed right here. He's surveying. He's got nothing. Good cut here from Norchad Omier. It's just like the timing's off, and we're basically saying, yo, Miller, like, this is your possession. Go do your thing. So pump fake, get the bump. Sorry, I wanted to do that in full speed. Pump fake, Thompson, get closer, get the bump, get separation, and then get your shoulders turned to make a good shot. One more time. It's pump fake, Thompson inches up, bump, and it happens so quick I almost can't even talk fast enough, but you understand what I'm saying, I hope. All right, so this next one is all about Isaiah Wong. Look, so we got low shot clock. We're down to 6 on the clock already, and we're making this pass to Wong on the wing. So look how he catches this ball with his momentum going forward. I want to say that again. Look how he catches this ball with his momentum going forward. 5 seconds on the shot clock. He knows he's got to get in the lane as soon as he can. He's looking at Galloway and he's looking at Jalen Hood-Schifino right here, and he's saying, I can get in this lane. So let me have my momentum going forward as I catch this ball so that it's easier to get to the lane quicker. And so he catches it with his momentum going forward, and there's not a lot of guys who are his size. Isaiah Wong's like 6'3", maybe a $185, who can take one dribble from inside the three-point line and get to the rim. But watch what he does right here. It's one dribble and an overreach step. Let me get my momentum going, and it's one dribble and then a reach over the defender. He puts the ball high, which is honestly not always a great thing to do when you're a smaller guard. But this time he's got enough separation between Hood-Schifino and himself to get that ball up there. It's really his only option if he wants to keep his momentum going forward, to put it up there and hope that Hood-Schifino isn't going to be able to react quick enough to get a hand up there and tip it loose. So you get the momentum going forward, and it's one dribble, and he gets himself to the rim. That's the ACC Player of the Year, Isaiah Wong, right here, just making a really skillful play in the lane. And it's not like Markquis Nowell where, I get deep and then I'm looking to pass when you're out of position. It's Isaiah Wong. I'm going to go score it. Even if it was Nowell, I have confidence that he would make the same sort of play because the fact that 32, either Miller Kopp or Joey Galloway, I think it's Galloway, he doesn't come up. He kind of stays home on this help side, on this opposite side action. And Isaiah Wong, he says, I'm just gonna go right to the cup then, get the momentum going forward, get in the lane as soon as I can, and attack the rim. That's all it is. So these next two Miami Hurricane possessions, you're really gonna see how their small ball sort of lineups play to their advantage and how they're able to get past Trayce Jackson-Davis and Race Thompson, number 25 and number 23. And I know that Trayce Jackson-Davis is a one-watch Player of the Year candidate, but man, this dude is slow on the defensive end. You'll see it right here, how that if you don't match up well against this Miami small ball team, you're going to be in for a long night. I can tell you that much. So we got the ball down here. Jordan Miller has got it on the block, and he's been opening stuff up with what he's been able to do down there. And Miami's going to use their size to their advantage, like I said. So Race Thompson is going to be forced to close out on a much smaller player right here. We get the ball to, I think, Joseph, who is a backup point guard or backup two guard for Miami. And he's forced to close out. He can't stay in front. It's not even close. Joseph is able to blow right by because Thompson, he's got his back to him at this point. It's really not what you want to see. And now Thompson, he stands no chance, like I said. So here comes Jackson-Davis. He's forced to step up. It's 2-on-1. And Joseph does a good job of deciding to make the play early, deciding to make the bounce pass early. So similar sort of cut here from the Keontae Johnson. We got 90. It's not quite 45, but it's close enough that this is a good bounce pass and the right play to make. We get past Race Thompson, and now it's 2-on-1, like I said. Bounce pass, delivered on time in rhythm, and he doesn't hesitate by going straight up to the rim there and slamming it home. I mean, am I wrong? Is Trayce Jackson-Davis not slow? He's slow, dude. Like, looks like he's moving in underwater, I swear. Next one. Very next Miami possession. Same story. Boom. Beat Race Thompson, and Jackson-Davis is too slow to get back. Am I wrong, guys? Like, seriously, tell me if I'm wrong. If Trayce Jackson-Davis is a good defensive player and I'm tripping, then yeah, let me know. But I saw him get a couple blocks in this game. He's not always this slow-footed. But on that one, it looks like he's playing, timid. It looks like, come over here. If you're coming to help, bro, jump and make the play. I don't mind that, you maybe think that Race has got him covered down here. He's got the block sort of position, taking it from you, but you gotta then get this rebound then. I watched Jordan Miller hits the deck and gets back up much quicker than Trace Jackson Davis can. And like I said, if you're not matching up against this Miami small ball team, you're gonna struggle. So with that being said, this is basically what Miami's given up by going small ball with that lineup. If you do give up offensive rebounds and you're unable to secure it on the defensive end of the court, then I mean, this is 5-on-1 for Trace Jackson Davis, and I'm not questioning whether or not he's skilled on the offensive end of the court. I fully believe that to be the case. He goes 5-on-1 here and gets the bucket anyways. So like I said, Indiana does take the lead here. They get back into this game because they start doing things that Miami's vulnerable to. The problem is they kind of get away from that, and Miami's firepower and offense is just a little bit too much for them to handle. These next two Miami possessions are all about Wooga Poplar. You see they get an offensive rebound, Miami does, and Omir's kicking it out to Poplar. Here comes Hochefino with a long closeout, a little bit out of control, and it pretty much allows Poplar to use the pump fake and go right around. So get it on the wing, use the pump fake, and go right around. And this time, Jackson Davis steps up, but I mean, so just look at 2-3 right here. He's standing up and down. He's not in an athletic position. And it probably sounds like I'm trying to harp on this dude, and maybe I am a little bit. Maybe he needs to just toughen up a little bit. But he's not in an athletic position right here. It's like he's not ready to make a play on the ball. He's not ready to stunt and get back, or he's not ready to step up and stop the ball. So he steps up, but he doesn't really do a whole lot to disrupt this pass, I guess is what I'm trying to say. If you're stepping up, I mean, step up and like get your hands active. Force him to go in a different passing lane than what he wants to do. Get a hand in the passing lane and disrupt it at least a little bit. But our arms are at our sides. We're not in an athletic position, and we never get our hands out to get in the passing lane. And so, yeah, Poplar easy dumped in Omir, and it's just a little too easy there for Miami. The next one's coming at 13:14 on the clock, so it's very similar, this possession from Poplar. He, instead of dumping this time, he kind of fakes the dump. So here he comes, pump fake, get around Thompson again. Thompson honey bun sort of on defense on the wing here. Poplar's able to get around him rather easily. And this time he reads that Jackson Davis isn't stepping all the way up. The dump is sort of there because Jackson Davis is kind of in the middle. Really, honestly, not bad position from him because he's not too far from affecting this shot by putting a hand up, and he's not too far from Omir to get back and stop him from getting an easy dunk look. But what Wooga Poplar does here is he fakes the dump. We just saw him make the dump pass a couple possessions ago. This time he fakes the dump. Look at that ball fake. I mean, that's really hard. That's really tough to defend. I mean, if you're getting this ball fake, look at how much Jackson Davis bites on it. And that time he actually does get it. I would have loved to see it on the last possession from Chase to get his hands out like this, to stunt maybe once or twice and try and get back. Look at how much more of an effort he puts into this one. I mean, he's still kind of more straight up than I would like, but at least he's trying to stunt. And at least his hands are active. Poplar just better on the offensive end. Knowing that, last time I made the dump to Omir and it worked out. This time, maybe I try and fake Jackson Davis out and get my own bucket. So really good job there from Poplar. We've seen him make 3 good plays now in this clip. So boom, right here we got Jordan Miller on Race Thompson again, and he wants to get to his left hand. He's left-handed. He wants to get to his strong side. Got the little hook here, but he gets to his spot, again, in a power position, in a spot that he's comfortable in on the court. And so this time, instead of using the pump fake and bump, he kind of uses a little jab there. So he uses the jab his elbow jab to just get a little bit more separation. He kind of fakes a spin move. Yeah. He fakes a spin move, and that gets Thompson going left. So that little pivot right here, Thompson's now got his momentum going to the left side, and all Miller has to do is put that elbow into his side hip right here, and that gets him enough separation to get his shoulders squared again to the hoop in midair. Jordan Miller, really good job of being an athlete down here and getting a shot up from a difficult standpoint, I guess is one thing you could say. From a difficult place on the court. So he's going to get to the middle and get into a power position, fake with the left, fake like I'm going to go spin to my right, and use the elbow jab to get a little bit of separation, just enough so I can get my shoulders turned and get a look at the glass to put a layup in over Race Thompson, who we've seen get scored on quite a number of times in this clip. This is Jordan Miller, most underrated player in the country, according to his head coach, Jim Larinaga. And this time, he's just so good on the left side because he's so good at, getting this separation. This time he uses the pump and bump again. We'll call it that. Pump fake and then bump. Actually, this time it's a bump and pump rather than a pump and bump. So we get the bump and then the pump. He's just so good on that left side because he can get a shot up by getting you off balance. He's very good at getting you off balance, and he's a massive threat down there to score it because he's long and he's an athlete. So there's one of the blocks I was talking about from Jackson Davis. He gets up on that one, and he makes an athletic play. But this Jordan Miller possession, again, just really good job at getting his separation and getting his shoulder square to get a look at the rim. So that's all we got for this episode of Coach Cove's B-Ball Breakdowns. But hopefully you guys liked looking at Nowell and Miami's offense. I know it was a little bit off the beaten path from what we usually do on this channel. And I hope you guys are enjoying the tournament so far. I hope you guys are watching some good games. There's a lot of good games out there. Those first 2 rounds were insane. A lot of my predictions fell flat, straight in the gutter. Arizona, yeah, we're not going to talk about it. But hopefully your guys' brackets aren't as busted as mine. And hopefully you're enjoying the games. We'll be back soon with a couple more full film reviews from the Sweet 16 round. But for now, hopefully you guys are enjoying the tournament, enjoying this video, enjoying taking a look at some different things on this channel. Keep tuning in, and yeah, take care.